Praise the Most High today, family. Praise the Most High today. The highest. Yahuwah. Through his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Praise the Most High. And Shabbat Shalom, family. The Most High is truly worthy today of all our praises. Hallelujah. I had almost decided to stay in the house today and rest, because I know I have a full week ahead of me, but Most High wouldn't let me. He said, let's get on up and get out of here. And get us some fresh air, some sunshine, and a little bit of exercise. Praise the highest today, family. The Most High is so good to his family. I dare say better than we are to ourselves. And he is. Because we don't know sometimes what we're doing to ourselves. And what traps we're backing ourselves into. Or going headlong into. Face first. But family, the Most High is so good to us and gracious, kind. I do hope everyone else is well today, and that you yourself are able to get out on this grand day of rest and get you some fresh air, sunshine if it's in your neck of the woods, and the Most High willing, some exercise. Pardon me. Excuse me. Family, I shared a post last evening, and it was after I finished this recording that we just released about prayer, our confident / only hope. And family, well, you know it, the Most High works in mysterious ways. And it was really for him to nail home or to drive home the idea of the importance of our prayer in this season. And I didn't know it at the time, but that fella just reaffirmed everything that the Most High was speaking to me about, and in much more detail. See, family, I come to understand I don't know it all. And I'm not as well versed or well studied as other folk, but I'm a willing vessel. And therefore the Most High can use me as he will. And something else I saw last evening as a strong reminder that it don't matter who watches these as far as the numbers go, because if it's only one individual, and our brother, family, and I said I was going to have his name right by the time we came and did another recording, but I didn't practice it. After hearing him say it last evening, he broke it down syllable by syllable. And it somewhat slipped my mind, if we would say, to go over it before we came out. And right now we're dealing with our phone only as far as our internet. And it started slowing down on us, but it's okay. We're still going to get it done and continue to give the Most High the praise. Because he knows our capabilities and our limitations. even in our own bodies, let alone the what we may have as far as what the world has to offer. But we have to adapt. And we all know about that as far as being Hebrews or Israelites. We have all been down through there. And it takes the Most High to get us through everything we're going through. And family, I mean everything. What seems small can turn into, like we said in the prior recording, a snowball, and have that snowball effect going downhill. And as another old saying goes, boo-boo runs downhill. And that's not the word we used when we was in ROTC, but that was the example they gave as far as if you have sloppy leadership. Oh boy. But as I was saying, family, we was going over this idea of prayer yesterday, and I don't even know the preacher's name, but I'm following this guy called the Invisible Brother, I believe. And I don't even remember his full, the name of his channel. But I would highly recommend, family, that we go and take a look at that recording that I put in the post about prayer. It's so powerful. And it's one I recommend all of Yasharel to watch and make a habit in their lives during this time. Because as the fellow said, family, we're not judged, or judge was the word. The Most High don't judge us individually. He judges us by nations. And he delivers folks by the nations. And he, like we said, judges folk by nations. Just like he's getting ready to deliver us out of this, the land of our captivities where we are residing now, all over this earth. But it's going to take him to do it, family. And I just wanted to come on today and share that quick idea about that recording and the need for us to get out of this selfish, just as he spoke on, this selfish attitude where it's all about me. And I said to myself, family, I've been selfish all my life. And the church basically, what's the word? Propagated or pushed forward that idea of being selfish, that it's all about me. It's all about my benefit, my prosperity, my success. Not my brother or my sister who's going through the same thing I'm going through or have gone through. And maybe I can say something to help them or do something to help them. But praise the Most High. And I'm sitting here cleaning up my idea as we speak, so pardon me, but this is what I just ran across. I'm going to share that real quick. And it says, pure religion and undefiled before the Most High. And the Abba is this, to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction. Praise the Most High. And that's coming out of James 1:27. Praise the Most High, family. We done got all into our time, but it's okay. We're gonna share this idea I wanted to share today. And it's going right back to prayer. But it's showing us how we need to look at it. And that's prayer, that is, how we need to approach prayer. For one thing, its importance, and like we said, how to look at it from the Most High's viewpoint, how He looks at, like we said, pure religion. And I heard my brother, and that was confirmation to me last evening. He said he don't edit his recordings, and he would if he knew how to save some time. And I said to myself, well, I'm not able to edit my recordings like I want to right now either. So I'm not feeling bad about this time spent, because just as he was sharing in the recording, and praise the Most High, the Most High spoke to me during that time while we was waiting for his some kind of system he has hooked up to his home that purges out old water and replaces it with new clean water, pure water. Oh boy. And my mother had just asked me a question yesterday afternoon about a refreshing. What did I think a refreshing meant? I said, well, Mama, refreshing can mean a couple of things. I mean, ruachally, it can mean that you're getting rid of the stale relationship you have with the Most High and rekindling it, so to be on fire. That's what we mean by rekindle, or rekindling it. And then at the same time, it can mean, as she pointed out, a refilling with the Ruach HaKodesh. He comes inside, same thing we're saying, comes inside and clean you up. Get out all the stale, the old, and praise the Most High. That's what our brother was speaking on last evening. As far as cleansing process from the system that he has attached to his home. It was like all of us that was in the false religion, Christianity, and some may take offense to that, but it's okay. You'll get it when you get it. But he was saying that has to be purged out of us. The Most High has to purge out all that old understanding, old wisdom, old knowledge, old understanding, like we said, and give us a new look from the text. Because we're being taught by enemies. We're being taught by open enemies. They're not ashamed of how they treated us over the years, and they're not ashamed to take our history book, take the word of the Most High, our covenant, and propagate it for their own, and set up a whole group of people in our stead. And you know that's a hot mess, family. They said in Psalms 83, I believe, they said, come let us make a confederacy of ourselves. Let's make a pact that we would blot out the name of Yasharel forever. And we would have a free range to make them slaves perpetually. And all that's in my own words, but it's in the text. But what we're speaking on today, family, is simply prayer. And the importance of prayer in this season. And the importance, just like the preacher said in yesterday's recording, that we put a post out on. We need to get out of this selfish idea that the Most High is going to redeem one individual, that he's going to bring you redemption and salvation, but not all of Yasharel, not all of us as a family, as on the whole. But that's how he works, and we see it in the script all the time. But first, I wanted to share this word that I asked about yesterday evening. If you knew the Hebrew word for Rhema, the Hebrew word for Rhema, and it is dabar, or dabar, or dabar, D-A-B-A-R. And it means word, talk, or thing in the Hebrew. What we're concerned about is simply talking. And it's the Most High speaking to his creation. And he expects us to speak back. And family, that's what I started to name this idea. And bear with me, family, for rubbing my chest. Ain't nothing wrong, Robert. It's just doing a little hurting. Because I come off them pain pills, man. I had to stop taking them. They're messing with my kidneys. So I had to stop taking them. Like I said before, I was taking take a break off of them, but now I said I'm done with them. I'd rather put up with the pain, which is pretty much bearable, but I'd rather put up with the pain than affecting my body negatively in another place. Praise the Most High. But pray for your brother. But like we said, we was gonna look at this idea as far as how the Most High sees us praying with him and talking to him, as opposed to how we see it. And I say opposed to how we see it simply because of this text here. And it's a question posed by Saul in 1 Corinthians 6, 19 through 20. And he said, don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh, or the Holy Spirit, who lives in you and was given to you by the Most High? You do not belong to yourself. For the Most High bought you with a high price. You must honor the Most High with your body. And I wrote respect under that script. And see, family, that's what it's all about. Respect. And a lot of us don't have it for the Most High. Just as that preacher was saying, a lot of them, especially men, don't know how to worship the Most High, don't know how to get before his face and just give ourselves over to him. And I dare say, cry out to him for him to deliver us, his people. Because just as that fella said, it's going to take him doing the same thing he did before. See, just as he brought out the script is forever. So he'll use a script from one era of our people's history to confirm another era in our people's history. And during that time, it says that the Most High heard the cries of his people when they was in Egypt. So he expects us to cry out to him, family, and to petition him for him to move on our behalf. And this takes a vessel. This takes a temple, as this text says. And I like to look at it from the standpoint of that script. A vessel of honor and vessels of dishonor. Pardon me, family. And I just had my smoothie, so pardon me for burping. And it says you must honor the Most High with your body, because you was bought with a high price, and that you do not belong to yourself. And I went over those backwards. But we don't belong to ourselves, family. We belong to the Most High. He made us for a purpose, a reason. And He put us individually within this space of time to do and to be what He called us to do and be. And a lot of us, family, He's called us to prayer. No, it said men ought always pray. That don't say one person out of all Yasharel is interceding for all of Yasharel. It means all of Yasharel is crying out for Yasharel to be delivered. But it says men ought always pray. That's powerful, family. That's saying everybody ought to always pray. And it's important. Like I said, we got to talk to Him all day, every day. But 1 Peter 3:15 says, but in your hearts set apart Mashiach as Adonai. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for your hope, for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect. But the key point in that script, family, is we always set Mashiach apart as Adonai. We set Him apart as holy. We set Him apart as our example. Thank you, Father. That turned right on out. And with Him being our example, family, He always stole away in prayer. He always went to the Father asking for direction, interceding for Yasharel, I'm sure, on many occasions. And Matthew 11:12 says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. Family, so how are we taking anything by force when we're fighting Esau? Oh boy. On the most part, Esau is our sworn enemy. And he's sworn to take us out. And he's sworn to keep us as perpetual slaves, to serve him and his, I would say that, his, what they say, their interest. Oh boy, praise the Most High. But we take it by force. And how do we take anything by force, family? The text says we're not fighting flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. This is how we take it by force, family. If all of Yasharel was praying for the downfall of the principalities that's over each region, like the preacher was saying, that Hasatan's kingdom work together, but Yasharel don't want to work together. And we got the best coach, the best leader in history, who doesn't just lead or coach by mouth, but by example, which we just saw. It says, but in your hearts set apart Mashiach as Adonai. And this is what we all must do, family. Set him apart as holy as our leader, and holy as the example of what we need to follow. And that's what we're talking about today, family. Prayer. And then we can take it by force. If all of Yasharel was praying as Daniel prayed as led by the Most High, and Michael came on the scene. But Michael said that he was held up from bringing Daniel the answer to his prayer. Now that was just one individual, family. But he had faith in the Most High to do what he told him to do. And once he did what the Most High told him to do, that prayer activated the kingdom's armies to come and fight for him. But as we were saying, one principality came and helped fight against Michael. Hassatan's kingdom is set up in principalities, in rulers in high places, leaders, just like these heads of state. They're under a principality. A large demon, a high-ranking demon that has to be torn down from his seat, his power, his place of authority. And family, that's going to take prayer. But it's also going to take a clean life, a clean lifestyle. Not only holding Mashiach, Yahushua Mashiach, in a high place of a set-apart place, holy, but we also must hold ourselves up as set apart and holy. And James tells us that in James 1:21 through 27. And we may read all this, we may not. I think we will. But it says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. Oh boy. It said, lay aside all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness. In other words, cut out the mess. And we all know what our messy lifestyles used to be. And we have to maintain. See, with the past that I have, family, in porn, sexual addictions, hoeing around, hoeing around to make it, put it lightly, or to make it blunt. We have to stay away from the mess. We can't put ourselves in places where that same lifestyle is being, how do we say that, put on a pedestal as if it's okay. Watching certain TV shows, no. But be doers of the word and not hearers only. We just said that. We can't just watch our grand example of Yahushua. We have to do Yahushua. Hallelujah. And what I mean by that, we have to follow the example that he made in prayer and in living set apart holy for the master's use. Not for our use, family. Our use is played out. Like I said, I done lived a life, family, of pure hellion. And yes, it was fun at the time, but the repercussions won't. Oh boy. As I'm rubbing on my chest, hurting from another open heart surgery. We don't never like the repercussions of our sin and our mess. For if you be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. And after he behold himself, he go away and straightway forget what manner of man he was. That couldn't be put more plain or simple. Basically saying, family, that you forget who you are after you stop looking in the mirror. But it's saying we must always keep our face in the mirror of the Most High's word, because we won't forget to be set apart. But whosoever look into the pure law of liberty, there we go, and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds. See, because you're keeping the Most High word first, family. Like it said, the law of liberty, the law of freedom. See, a lot of people want to say that the laws, statutes, and commands are done away with in order to go back and do the mess they was doing, and therefore not living in freedom. They're going back to bondage. But if we do what the Most High's book tells us to do, his laws tells us to do, we're going to live free. Because that book is holding us to a standard. the same standard that Mashiach walked in. Our grand example. If any man among you seem to be religious or bright and bridle not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain, or this man's belief set is in vain. But pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Abba is this, as we said before, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself pure. If I'm not mistaken, that part got blocked out. Romans 8:26-39 says, likewise the Ruach also helpeth our infirmities. It helps us to stay in line. It helps us to walk this straight and narrow path. For we know not what we should pray. And there you go. As we ought. See, family, we're the temple of the Most High, and we're called to prayer. And we're called to live a holy life as examples, just like our Adonai Yahushua was. But the Ruach himself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he searches the heart, knowing what is in the mind of the Ruach, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of the Most High. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son. Oh, family, did it say we're conformed to the image of his Son? Or conformed to the example of the Adonai Mashiach, or Mashiach Adonai, however you want to look at it. Family, that is so important, because we're being conformed to holiness and not conformed to the world, as the text says. That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. And that reminds me of what the preacher fellow was saying yesterday about the power that the Most High has put in us, that already resides in us. All we need to do is bring it out. And we're predestined to do this. We're already called. And we're justified. And like he said, we will also be glorified. What shall we say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? Is it the Most High who justifies? Who is he that condemns? Is it Mashiach that died? Yeah, rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Most High, who also maketh intercession for us all. Family, that text says he making intercession for us all. So with him making intercession for us all, family, what should we be doing for Yasharel? Making intercession for us all. The whole crew, not just one or two. Pardon me. Not just me and my family being delivered, but the whole of Yasharel. Praise the Most High. And the text goes on to say, who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? As it is written, for your sake we are killed all day long. we are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor power, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any creature, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in Mashiach Yahusha, our Adonai. Family, I know I rushed through this here at the end because we're up to 35 minutes right now. And the whole point of this idea, family, today is prayer. And as we gave the meaning of the Hebrew word dabar, it means to talk, a thing. What else did it mean? Or the word. It means the word, to talk, or a thing in the Hebrew. Family, we've been given this grand example of our Adonai, our Savior, Mashiach, the Christ, his son, will still save. To follow. We're to follow this example and carry it on out, family. For his will, his glory, his honor, his praise, for him to get the praise. And I hope we've gotten this idea over these last 35, 40 minutes, family, because it's so important for us to be who he made us to be. Because as we said, he strategically placed us in this moment in time. He strategically first made us, molded and made us into whom he would have us to be, so we can do what he called us to do, to serve what purpose he's called us to serve in this time. And for all of us, it's prayer. If we set aside a time where we all prayed every single day, the Most High has to move. And as the preacher said on yesterday, but when I watched it, he was like, this is going to be the greatest or the largest exodus in history, the greatest event in all history. Because what he's doing, he's gathering us back together from all of the four corners of the earth that he spread us out to, his chosen people. And we're to be a light to the Gentiles through our love that we have for each other. And this is how we express it, through prayer. Family, I think more importantly, how we should carry this out is going to the Father and asking him, how will he have us to walk this out? Show me the way. Show me the path I should take. Show me what I should do. Show me what I should say. Show me how to pray. Praise the Most High, family. We're going to let that be our time. I do love and appreciate you all. Do stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Hallelujah.